and I didn't know anything really about word processing or anything like that, but I started to write, and all I can really tell you is that the words just started to flow right out of my brain and down my arms and onto the keyboard and onto that computer screen, and my passion was born. And that was the beginning of my writing. And yet I didn't really try to publish because I just didn't know that God had given me this dream or this passion so that I could share it. I just thought it was something He had given me for my own pleasure.
So when you go to write a book like this, do you make an outline, a guide, like this is going to happen and this is going to happen and this is going to happen, and then go back and fill it in, or you just write one page at a time of what happens?
You know, I think you can almost put fiction writers into two different categories: plotters, P-L-O-T-T-E-R-S, or seat of the pants writers. What do you think I am?
You're a seat of the pants.
That's what I am. I'm a seat of the pants writer. I have a general idea, a beginning, a middle, and an end, and I have a very vivid imagination. And so I do my research, and I figure out kind of what my characters are going to be, how my characters are going to be, what their personalities will be like. So I do a kind of a character sketch. And I write down all my characters' names, and I give them all a personality. And then I get a little bit antsy to get started with my story because, like I said, I have a very vivid imagination. And before long, I sit down, I start writing my story, and it just kind of flows. And sometimes I don't know from one page to the next
what you're going to put on,
what's going to happen. I sort of feel like I'm reading my own story. I'm writing along and I'm going, oh, I didn't know that was going to happen, but this is exciting. I didn't know my character was going to say that, but this is interesting. Yeah. So we kind of go different directions
until you get what you want.
Until I get what I want.
And it ends up with like how many chapters? Almost 500 pages.
Well, this really is the longest book I've written, and it is the third book in my series, and so I really had to kind of tie up some loose ends with some of the different characters from the previous books and so forth. But I do want to say too that in all of my series, this is my second series, currently I'm working on my third series, but in all of my series, which are 3-book series, they're all standalone books. So you don't really have to read them in any specific order. You can read them in different orders because they're all very much independent stories from each other.
Here's one. Can I keep doing puzzles till Jesus comes? Well, we'll see what your papa says. What in the world is this?
Well, I think we're referring to one of the children probably in the book, and he's talking about he's probably sitting on the floor doing a puzzle and
just saying that little statement.
Probably, yeah.
Well, I gotta find a statement here that tells us something.
Hopefully I can remember it, because you see, here's what happens. I'm writing a book, and then it's done, and then I go on to my next book, and this other book is just kind of like, you know how you study for a test, and when you're done with the test, it's gone. It's gone. And that's what happens to me sometimes.
With your books?
Yes.
Well, again, tell me why we should buy this series. Romance.
Most of my stories are very romantic, but they're also what you would call character-driven. I love to go deep into my characters. I like to get into their emotions and their depth. And all of my stories definitely have that thread of spirituality, and they provide a gospel message. And it's always my prayer as people are reading my books that they won't read them and think, oh, that's such a preachy book, you know. But I want them to read my books and be attracted to Christianity and be drawn to Christianity and to be drawn to God's Word.
Yes.
And that's really what my books are about. Providing a gospel message along with a captivating story and, like I said, an element of romance, an element of suspense, an element of mystery. I like to combine all those different aspects of a novel with lots of tension, because to me a good story has to have tension or it's boring.
Yeah.
And I want my readers saying to me, I couldn't lay that book down. I just kept reading, and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was still reading, and I was thinking to myself, I have to get up in 4 hours, but I can't stop. That's always an author's hope and dream, that people
that will happen.
Yeah.
What's next?
I'm currently working on a series that will be set in Wabash, Indiana, and it is called The River of Hope. And Wabash, Indiana has the Wabash River running right through the center of town. And so that's where I get the title.
Tell me more about it?
Well, there's 3 books in that series as well. And the first one is called River Song, and it is about a woman who owns a restaurant. She is a widow who owns a restaurant, and along comes a man who plays the harmonica. He spent 10 years in prison, and he is going to help her run the restaurant.
Well, that's coming up. Meanwhile, she's got 3 books, and you're going to want to get Abby Ann. It's her latest one. And Charlene MacLaren, The Daughters of Jacob Cain. Why do I always say Cain? Does he look like a Cain? Hey, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Abby Ann is a hard-working woman in a time that women are campaigning for their rights. In this 3rd book of the Daughters of Jacob Cain series, Abby endures threats and the difficulties that arise for women of her time who are learning to overcome abuse. During this time of Abby's life, she meets a man whom she is immediately attracted to through unexpected events. With uncertainties surrounding Abby's life, will she give herself completely to God or try and fix the issues all on her own? It's a story about determination and love. Abby Ann is available for this buy-the-book offer of $9.99. Simply call 888-725-8033. Request offer number 248. That's 888-725-8033. Request offer number 248. Buy the book today. By the Book's Dorothy Spaulding opens her heart in her book, We Walk by Faith, Not by Sight, a story that will connect with every reader as Dorothy shares her real adventure in faith, walking the cross thousands of miles throughout the United States for 8 years, witnessing and challenging people to be bold witnesses for Jesus. Order your copy by calling 888-725-8033 for just $14.95 plus shipping and handling. Ask for offer number 140.